Hello, and welcome to Hoe House Booksellers. At Hoe House Booksellers, our goal is to give you the best hoe-banging books for the money. We come out with new titles constantly, so please keep checking our store for even bigger and better deals. So let's take a look at our new line of books completely dedicated for the entertainment of hoes. While some very hardcore hoes dress the part and are easy to spot, there are many hoes who try to blend in with society and portray themselves as wholesome girl-next-door types. There are some, however, who cannot help but come across as hoes and are not able to fool anybody. This is especially true with hoes who have multiple children from multiple baby daddies. They might as well have the word HO stamped on their foreheads. But even so, there are some who still try to portray themselves as good girls in spite of their horrific track records. Well, Hoe House Books has written a manual for the hoe who doesn't want to be viewed as a hoe. Our book, I Look Innocent But I'm a Bad Little Bitch, takes you through the necessary steps to become that wholesome little lady, at least in appearance, and bag the man of your dreams. Or at least a skanky, dirty, lazy piece of shit who might support you. Or, as in some cases, maybe not. But beggars can't be choosers. Right, hoes? Some guys are just gross in everything they do. It's their nature. They can't help it. There are some men who have absolutely no manners, stuff their mouths as full as they can get them with food, talk with their mouths full, and have no clue how to chew with their mouth closed. They seem to have been raised without mothers, or their mothers never taught them a damn thing. Some are born idiots and it comes naturally. Others have to really work to become the disgusting pigs that they are. With these kinds of nasty individuals, being gross and disgusting is a part of their very being. That being the case, when it comes to food, it often comes out the same way it goes in. When you see this kind of disgusting person at a table, stuffing his face like a pig and having no manners, you can bet this is the guy you do not want to follow into the bathroom. This is the guy that when you use the bathroom after he gets done, you walk into a brown and green cloud. It permeates the entire room. And then, when you look at the toilet, look at the floor, you stand there in shock. This kind of disgusting pig will not have cleaned up after himself. As you can tell by the cover of the book, he has left you with a nasty, disgusting mess to deal with. This is the kind of guy you should treat like some people treat their dogs, and rub his nose in it. Of course, you should never rub a dog's nose in it. However, with this disgusting asshole, you have Hoe House's full permission to mop up the floor and clean the toilet with his face. This next book falls right in line with the previous book. This same disgusting pig will always just be nasty. He always looks dirty and doesn't seem to mind. Oftentimes, the woman he is with will be just as gross and maybe even more disgusting. Now, that's fine if it's just the two of them and they are out in the woods somewhere, where each person's stench counterbalances the other. However, when it comes to being around other people, these people are the rudest of the rude. The book, My Daddy Never Showers, attempts to teach dirty, gross people the necessity of cleaning themselves up before coming into the presence of other people who do not have the same filthy standards as them. Gross, disgusting people don't have to be gross and disgusting, thanks to Hoe House Books. If you have a gross, filthy pig as a friend or relative, you can order one free copy of the book and give it to them as a gift. Hopefully they will be able to take the hint and take a damn shower. It is a well-known fact that girls think very highly of what their friends think. How many times has a guy been shot down because, even though a girl might like him very much, her friends start saying things to sway her away from the guy? Oh yes, no matter how much she likes the guy, her friends have to approve or the guy is toast. In the same vein, since girls have such influence over their friends, they can attempt to keep their friends from making some horrible mistakes. There are just some guys who are players and girls should avoid at all costs. However, there are some girls who only go after bad boys, and as a result end up getting burned. Our book, Stop Chasing That Dick, gives girls the step-by-step method of influencing their friends away from these types of players. Granted, there will be some who are hoes and all they want is the D, so they will not be swayed regardless. However, Hoe House Books has conducted studies and found that the methods in this book are 77% effective. One caveat as well. The book does not seem to work with girls whose names start with the letter H. So get your copy today and help your friends avoid the players. Ever wonder why things can go through your digestive system and come out the same way as it went in? It's a mystery. It's a well-known fact that corn is one of those foods that will decorate your poop with yellow polka dots. There are some people who are totally fascinated with this kind of thing, especially when they are high on something. They can sit and contemplate a yellow speckled turd for hours. This is a good thing to know when the person is being annoying and you want them out of the way. Just give them a corn turd and they'll be entertained the rest of the day. Some of these people, however, are not only fascinated with the turd, but also want to learn about the biological process that made that corn turd. That is why we wrote the book, The Mystery of the Corn in My Shit. It's a great book to just leave in the bathroom for some interesting reading while you're pinching a loaf. If you have multiple bathrooms, no problem. Just watch for our 2-for-1 sale. That way you'll have reading material galore. Many people today use dating apps to find another person to spend some time with. The problem with dating apps, however, is that people are not always honest about things. Photoshopped pictures, old pictures, some even use pictures of their daughters. Also, people are not always honest about their habits or other preferences. Yes, it's easy to talk a good game on an app, but when it comes to putting up or shutting up, in person is a completely different story. How many people have wasted their time meeting someone who is not what they portrayed? Hoe House Books wants to give you a little heads up on how to handle these situations. Our book, Check Please, He Doesn't Need Ass, explores the different ways you can protect yourself before the date and how to deal with this problem in real time. We also include some complimentary pepper spray and a set of brass knuckles. However, we cannot sell brass knuckles, so we list it as a paperweight. This is one book that is well worth the investment. There are some people who, being very blunt, are just pieces of shit. You can tell from the very first time you see them. Some people can fool you for a while, but then eventually you realize what they are. However, there are also some people who are such pieces of shit that you don't even have to meet them to tell. You can tell it just from glancing at them. The book, I'm 5 seconds old and can already tell that you're a piece of shit, deals with the experience of a pet having to live with a couple of very disgusting people. Word of warning. This book is not for the squeamish and faint-hearted. There is a disclaimer at the beginning of the book, as it is very graphic and has been known to make people throw up 5 minutes into the book. Thus, it falls right in line with the title. Read this book only if you are brave. You might want to drink half a bottle of tequila before you undertake reading it. We know that dogs love gross smells. I mean, come on, dogs eat poop. Some people judge how they smell according to their pet reactions. That is why, when they walk into a room of people, half the room begins to hurl. Our book, You Smell Amazing, is written to give stinky people a reality check. Trust us. You do not smell amazing to humans. This next book needs no explanation if you are familiar with these people. This is written from the perspective of their child, and is another book that is not for the faint-hearted. The things shown on camera are atrocious enough. We can only imagine the horrors that go on behind the scenes. Most of us would be horrified to pull back the curtain and see what happens when the camera is turned off. Constipation can be a real problem. It is particularly so when the person involved is completely full of shit. However, when the full of shit person finally lets it loose, it's Katie bar the door. It's get the hell out of Dodge. The little Dutch boy ain't gonna plug this dike. When this happens, it best to be in the next county or on a high hilltop. Some people will actually think a volcano has erupted. This is one nasty-ass book. As you have seen on many occasions, there are some people who seem to not be able to live without junk all over the place. How many houses have you seen with junk cars in the front yard for no apparent reason? They don't use them. The parts have already been used. Yet the junkers still adorn their yards and there is no attempt to remove them. Some people are just slobs and no matter where they live, they are not comfortable without junk everywhere to make them feel at home. The book, Clean Up Your Shit, takes a look at the scummy asses who live like they own a junkyard. There are some people who even a hungry, wild beast will hesitate to eat. No human would eat a shit sandwich, and that's exactly how the wild beasts feel about eating certain people. The people are so nasty, so disgusting, that a hungry lion will take one sniff and say, if they taste like they smell, I'm not that hungry yet. Mystery novels take a new twist with our new book, The Haunted Hand Job. Since this book is for mature audiences, all we can say about the book is that it is definitely bone on bone. This is definitely a book of lies. That's the last time. I'll never do that again. I've had my last drink. I'll never have sex again. I don't use meth. We're broke and need more money. People are being mean to us. This is just a rash. I'm building a home for our son. Yes, many lies that people tell. The book, I'll Never Get High With You Again, depicts many of these lies and more. Some people are up at the crack of dawn. Others, the only crack they see is in a pipe. Some are just lazy, worthless pieces of shit who stay in bed till noon, then don't do shit the rest of the day. Some act like they are doing something, but only as long as the camera is on. That's why 8 days can pass and there is no progress on a project. They love to sleep, love to slumber. They are lazy. This book exposes the people who are merely posers and never do any real work, preferring to sleep their lives away. They are a modern-day Rip Van Winkle. This book is self-explanatory. Many readers feel the same way as the child on the cover. The book, I'll Open This Umbrella in Your Musty Butthole, is geared toward those people dealing with others who never wash their asses. It's almost as if you can see a little brown cloud surrounding the anus. If you're walking behind one of these people, you are putting your nostrils in danger. That's why we include a special butthole plugging umbrella with this book. You must always be on guard against these non-ass washers, especially if you're in the woods. You can also use the umbrella to beat people over the head in order to knock some sense into them. This next book has been on the bestseller list for months, mostly because of its practical applications. There are some men who know how to build things. They build bridges, skyscrapers, jetliners, and do a damn good job. Then there are others who could take a model for a horse and produce a pig. They are clueless and have no skills. What makes them dangerous, however, is that they think they do have the skills. Everybody outside of their circle can see it's a hopeless situation. However, there are those who know nothing about building anything and praise the non-existent skills of the builder. The book, Never Go on Anything Daddy Builds, is a book of wisdom. It would also be wise not to go in anything Daddy builds either. But only if you value your life. People have been led to believe that Dorothy went to see the wizard because she wanted to go back to Kansas. Who the hell wants to go to Kansas? That would be boring. We also know there was no such thing as a yellow brick road. But if you're high enough and have the right stuff, you can see all kinds of magical things. Yeah, we know exactly what Dorothy was up to. She couldn't get her fix there on the farm. But alas, Dorothy finally came down from her trip and found herself back in boring Kansas. The book, Take This Little Shit Factory Away From Me, recounts the experiences of a woman who had children she didn't want to take care of, simply because she couldn't keep her legs closed. It should be plain common sense that, if you don't want to take care of children, don't have them. Use protection, or become a nun. Keep your legs closed altogether. There are other options. However, if you're wanting to get pregnant in order to trap men, then that's another story. The sad thing is, it's the children who are the victims. Only a heartless, narcissistic mother would neglect the very children she produced with her own body. This story is about one of the most pathetic humans you will ever read about. It's enough to make a maggot puke.